Greetings there, everyone. This is Jed. In this video I'll be speaking about the topic of religion and spirituality and health, looking at how our religious practices and spiritual practices and beliefs can impact our health and well-being. It's helpful to consider that the impact can be either positive or negative. So there are contexts where someone has a religious practice or belief that's bringing something positive to them that supports their health, while religious practices and beliefs could also have a negative or harmful effect on someone's health. This is something that people often don't think about. They may focus on one aspect or the other. So there are people that look at, you could say, the fear-based aspect of religion or religious beliefs and point to how that could be harmful to someone. There are also people that will point just to the faith inspiring or supporting aspects of religion or spirituality and point to how that brings about positive results for people's health. So we want to look at things from a kind of holistic, balanced perspective where we can see both sides of things, where we could see the potential benefit as well as the potential harm or adverse effects when we're going into, you could say, the shadow side of spirituality and religion. So I have a whiteboard here where we're going to look at some of this. So looking at some of the positive attributes or aspects that can be present with religion and spirituality. We'll call this positive and this side negative. So positive is where it promotes love and compassion, as well as faith, integrity, and connection. So these are some of the positive attributes or aspects that could be present. So love is something that we know gives us a boost to our health. It's a feeling of connection, actually, of being united with someone else or with something beyond ourselves. At a physical level, that helps our DNA. It helps it be a more clear antenna to receive information and promote our well-being. Religion and spirituality also may focus on compassion, on caring for others, seeing others as valuable and as other aspects of the divine creation. So having that concern for the welfare of others is very helpful to our well-being. Of course, having faith, which is essentially having a belief in something positive. It could be faith in ourselves, faith in the Creator, faith in life itself. Whatever you have faith in, faith gives you some sort of a positive feeling or sense within your being, and that helps your health both psychologically and physically. Religion and spirituality also often promote having integrity. You might think of that in terms of honesty, but it also means integrity within your being, of being whole within yourself, being consistent with your values and beliefs, so living according to those values and beliefs. So that could be looked upon as integrity, not living kind of a double life where there's one aspect of you that's acting or presenting in one manner and then another aspect that's in conflict. So when we have some type of conflict within ourselves, then we're really not in integrity, and that's in a sense stressful. It ultimately can deplete our energy and make it difficult to function in a more healthy and harmonious way. Another significant positive aspect that can be present with religion and spirituality is the promotion of a feeling of connection. Now, frequently that connection is connection to the spiritual source. So if you feel connected to God, or if you feel connected to spiritual guides, to angels, to things in a higher realm, then that helps you access that higher energy, or that deeper source of energy. Spirituality also can help us feel connected to others. So if we have a belief that we're all part of something greater, that we're all children of God, that we're all expressions of one ultimate creator, supreme being, source, whatever you may label that, then that connection or sense of connection promotes our well-being. Just being connected to other people, having positive, supportive relationships in our life, we know that supports our health and well-being. And connection isn't just with other people, it could be with any life form or being. So if you're connected to plants, to animals, to your pets, those are all things that could promote a sense of wellness. Really, connection is something that brings about a flow of energy. So when we're giving and receiving energy, that actually promotes our health and well-being. If we're kind of isolated and stagnant, then our energy isn't flowing as much, and that could diminish our vitality or well-being. So this is a little summary of some of the positive aspects of religion and spirituality that may be giving a boost to your health or well-being. Now we're going to explore what we're looking at as the negative side, or ways in which spirituality and religion or spiritual practices or beliefs could potentially be unhealthy or harmful. So we have here some words that identify the negative potential. And first we're looking at fear. Prolonged fear or chronic fear is something that can deplete our energy and it also causes us to constrict ourselves. So when we're in fear, we're usually seeking to avoid something, and the more we tend to avoid things, the more we tend to disconnect or disengage from life and life experience. In religion, there's often fear of doing something that is considered wrong or bad or sinful, something for which you might believe that the Creator, God, the spiritual source, is going to punish you or condemn you in some manner. People have fears around a variety of things, but many of them relate to what you would call morality, and that could be fear that you'll be punished or condemned, let's say, for being dishonest, for being hurtful to others, for doing something sexual that your religion doesn't acknowledge as appropriate according to that belief system. So these are some examples of ways in which people might fear being judged or condemned. So that's the type of fears that religion or spirituality might promote. It could also promote fear of other people. So you might be afraid that if people with other beliefs or practices are around you, that they could in some way tempt you or influence you to do something against your own beliefs. So you might start to avoid or separate yourself from other people in order to keep your purity, you could say, to maintain your adherence to your particular belief system. So that could lead to a sense of separation from other people. In some cases it could be an us and them type of mentality that gets promoted, where there are the followers of your faith, and then there are people who are outside of that faith who you might see as somehow sinful or negative. When you get into that type of mindset, it can create a lot of stress and disconnection, and ultimately it tends to be unhealthy. With religion, there may be a sense of guilt or shame. Even some spiritual paths or practices lead people to think in those terms. So if you have a very high standard or very, let's say, strong, intense types of values that you follow, then if you fail to live up to that standard, if you do something that you think is wrong or bad according to your belief system, then you might carry some guilt or shame with you. This isn't to say it's unhealthy to have high standards and strong values, but if we don't live up to that standard and we carry or hold on to guilt or shame, that can become unhealthy. So it's helpful to learn to forgive and accept, to realize that we're not always going to live up to our standards. We're not going to be perfect examples of what we believe an ideal human being or an ideal spiritual being should be. We're always a work in progress. So if we can have compassion for ourselves, it would be helpful in that context. There are some other ways in which you might perceive that there's something negative or positive present in terms of how religion and spirituality can affect our health and well-being. if you have some other things you've observed or noticed, I'd welcome you to share that. You can put some items in the comments under the video if you want to share something or present ideas and feedback that you have. I hope that this particular talk that I'm sharing provides some value or benefit to you. Religion and spirituality are parts of our lives, whether we happen to be a follower of any particular practice or tradition or not. We're all kind of searching for something greater than ourselves, for meaning and fulfillment in our lives. And whether you find that in some formal religion or belief system, or just through your way of living and being, through how you express who you are, your values, your passions, your interests, your talents, and so on, that's all in some way a part of our spiritual expression. For now, I'd like to thank each of you for taking your time to explore these topics, for looking into who you are, what's important to you, and seeking to improve your life, to improve your health, to be a greater or grander version of yourself. If you're interested in these subjects, if you're looking to learn more about spirituality, about holistic health and well-being, I invite you to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. And for now, I would like to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.